When trucking CEOs review their cost statements, they get an overview of a specific financial result at a specific location at a specific point in time. Cost statements provide the what, who, and when of financial performance. But when it comes to truly understanding financial performance, cost statements fail to provide the why and the how. Why do similar terminals have very different results? Why were labor costs higher this period? How can we get field employees to better leverage our investments in technology to improve results? How can we improve laden mile performance? The why and how of financial performance are directly controlled by the company's field management employees. Their ability to improve productivity, control cost, increase laden miles, and capture the benefits of new technology all depend on the effectiveness of the processes that are in place. Those activities terminal and driver managers use to run the company's day-to-day operations. Auditing current processes represents a significant opportunity to improve financial results. Unfortunately, many trucking companies fail to recognize this opportunity, even though the benefits should be apparent from the earlier asked question. Why do very similar terminals have very different results? The answer is process, and the most effective approach to improving process is through use of an operations audit. An operations audit is an objective and detailed analysis of all terminal activities that influence, manage, and control cost, employee productivity, and asset utilization. In other words, an operations audit identifies why a terminal is having performance issues and uses that analysis to define how performance can be improved. The auditor should be an industry professional, someone that thoroughly understands terminal operations, can take an objective and creative approach to the analysis, and is knowingly acting under the direction of the CEO to improve financial results. The auditor's toolbox consists of 4 activities: work observations, employee interviews, report analysis, and policy reviews. Work observations are used to document the company's current activities and to define the specific hows that can't be found in a cost statement. The auditor sits with each supervisory employee and observes and records how they perform their work, how they decide which drivers get which loads, how breakdowns are handled, how home time is administered, how idling time is controlled, and how often performance is reviewed with each driver, along with dozens and dozens of other hows. As the work observations are conducted, employee interviews are used to determine the whys. Why are drivers not coached or disciplined for late start times? Why aren't those loads backhauled to sister terminals with empty trucks in the area? Why is idling time so high with these 3 trucks? Why are there so many miscellaneous pay claims? Why does the shop close 2 hours earlier than dispatch? And why do owner-operators get all the loads with backhaul potential, along with dozens and dozens of other whys? Report analysis is an assessment of which reports are being used and which are available but not being used. This analysis has 2 goals. The first is to determine if the best available reports are in use. Often employees aren't aware of all the reports available. The second goal is to define, through use of work observations and employee interviews, if new reports would improve employee ability to monitor and manage performance and control cost. Our final tool, policy analysis, reviews published company policy to determine how well it supports operational effectiveness and identifies new policies that should be put in place. For example, a company policy requiring drivers to fuel their trucks every morning may not be cost effective if you have local drivers being paid 15 minutes for every fueling, but their trucks can run 3 days on a full tank. Or conversely, in order to improve the field's ability to control driver behavior and performance, policy analysis might suggest that a progressive driver discipline policy be established. Each of these 4 tools work together to define the why and how of your current operations. Why are results what they are? How can we improve these results? To be effective, all supervisory employees are included in the audit to ensure that every aspect of terminal operations is analyzed. That list includes terminal managers, driver managers, shop foremen, dock and loading supervisors, anyone that has supervisory influence over the financial performance of that terminal. Procedurally, the first terminal to be audited in a company should be the best performing in terms of operating results, thereby increasing the likelihood that work observations and employee interview results are made with the company's most capable employees. That does not mean, however, that existing processes at the terminal are summarily accepted as best practices for the company. That's where the experience and creativity of your auditor comes into play. While analyzing your current processes, the auditor should also be simultaneously developing improvement recommendations based not just on the current framework of the terminal, but also on his or her own insight and industry knowledge regarding running a cost-effective, productive, and efficient terminal operation. After the audit, auditor recommendations are submitted for review to the CEO, the executive group, and management personnel at the audited terminal. Discussion and revisions are encouraged, and once finalized, the agreed-to new processes become standard operating procedures company-wide. Implementation support will be required and includes providing effective communication, some degree of training, IT support for report development, and possibly the development of new policy. These activities should be aggressively managed at a high level in the organization within a timeline appropriate to the scope of the changes and the size of the company. Regarding auditor selection, larger trucking companies may have employees on staff qualified to perform effective audits. If so, they need to be particularly mindful of the need for objectivity. Employees become familiar and comfortable with existing processes and often won't question the same activities an outside auditor would. Outside auditors also can provide unique insights and perspectives gained from working at other industry companies. In terms of timing, a typical terminal audit will take 7 to 12 working days, including development of the findings and recommendations report. After that, allow another couple of weeks for discussion, review, and development of final SOPs. By leveraging the knowledge and expertise of your field management employees, an operation audit identifies the best possible activities to reduce cost, increase productivity, improve customer service, and capture the full benefits of in-place technology. As mentioned earlier, CEOs sitting in a remote corporate office can't see past the cost statement in their hands to identify the why and the how of the results they're reviewing for a terminal that's hundreds, possibly thousands of miles away. A professional auditor sitting next to the employees actually doing the work sees it all. Auditing operations provides a trucking company's field management teams with the best processes possible to manage their terminals while providing its CEO the why and how of improving bottom line results.